Her birth father was told that she was really a snake in human form because she was 3 years old and she wasn't walking. And what they do is they take a snake and they burn it, make the ash of the snake, then they cut the child. They put the ash of the snake in the cuts. And then they give them a poison and they take them out into the forest to turn back into a snake. And our daughter miraculously survived. This is happening to hundreds of innocent children are dying horrific deaths because they're seen as being a curse when they're really a blessing.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! Beautiful.
This is my favorite swing sets. We have swing sets. Oh, wait. You have, so I'm on swing, and when I was swing, and I love my mom. I love you.
So Percy is the man who found her. And he found her when she was 3 years old. She was covered in feces. She was so sick. She was searching for anything to eat in the dirt. She had nothing. And he said, I have never had my heart drawn out so much to a child. He says, I've seen a lot of poverty and I've seen a lot of suffering. But he said, at the same time, I knew she had something different. And I've been raised my entire life to know that these children, to be taught that these children are a curse. And you don't interact with them because you could get it. You know, they believe that you can get that from them. And so he said he looked at her and he thought, she's just a child. I shouldn't be afraid of her. She's just a child. And he brought her in, and he worked for the adoption agency, and he said, I'm going to try to find her an adoptive family. And everyone said, no way will anyone ever adopt a child like this. That's a waste of your time, your money, no way. And there's so many other children that need homes, you're just wasting your time. But he felt that he needed to advocate for her. And we had to go to Africa 3 times to bring her home. And the first trip over, we were on our way, we were halfway there, and the adoption agency called us and they said, all adoptions have been shut down, go home. We don't know when they're gonna open. We don't know if you'll ever be able to adopt her. And we thought, well, we're halfway here, we might as well just go and at least meet her. We got to know our sweet Kai and her little spunky attitude, and we were able to meet with the head of social welfare. And she said, why would you adopt a child like this? Nobody wants a child like this. I can show you 100 children that are worth adopting. She's not worth adopting. Why would you adopt a child like this? You just want a slave. And we said, no, we have a son with Down syndrome by birth, and we love him, and we will love her too. On our 3rd trip over, we were stopped by a policeman, and he said, where did you get this child? And at this time we had finished our adoption. Everything was finalized. She was legally ours. And we said, this is our daughter. And he said, you need to come to the police station. He said, I don't believe you. And we said, we have all the paperwork back in our hotel room. We can show you. They refused to look at any of the paperwork. We were held in the police station, and they wouldn't give us water. It was so hot, and Kai was really, really sick, and they wouldn't let us take care of her. They wouldn't let us give her food. They were really, really mean and aggressive. And it was at this point that the head of social welfare that we had met on our first trip came to the police station, and she saw us and she said, what are you doing here? And we said, well, this policeman says that we are trafficking this child and she's not ours and they won't let us, they won't look at the paperwork. And she says, I know these people, you have no right to hold them. If we hadn't have gone on that first trip, she wouldn't have been in place to save us when we were hauled in by the police.
Wow, that's scary.
It was scary, but miracles happen when we work to help others.
I can introduce myself, okay? I'm Kai, this is Mom, this is Dad, and it's Sticky Bell. Sticky Bell.
Oh, take a bow.
Oh,
Okay.
everybody take a bow.
Okay.
And
You
and
wanna
Dad,
take a bow?
Dad,
Take a bow.
Dad, you no, like this.
Oh, I do it like this?
Yeah, that's what.
Let me get it right. You
Yeah,
watch.
get it right.
Yes,
Right.
Mom,
Okay.
you
How am I
nuts.
supposed to do it?
You do
Percy.
pussy.
A curtsy?
And mine is Kai size.
Kai size. Oh, yep, that's Kai size.
Please.
What is that? She wants to just help everyone. And she loves to direct and she loves to plan parties. And she is helping to teach not only about acceptance of someone with a different skin color, because she's in a mostly white community, but she'll go and she'll say, we're having root beer because that's my skin color and that's my favorite color. So we're gonna have root beer and we're gonna have chocolate pudding and we're gonna have, because she's proud of her, she's proud of who she is. She's proud that she's from Ghana. She's proud of her brown, beautiful brown skin. And she helps other people to know that it's okay. It's okay to ask questions. It's okay to look different. It's okay to do things differently. And so she's in high school. She's on the unified sports teams, and her team took state last year. She sings in the choir, the school choir, and she just is a part of everything. She's in dance, so she does dance performances. She just loves life, and she just loves the world and wants to be a part.
My watch. Ready, Dad? I take my heel off. Just watch. Okay, watch. 1, 2, 3. Love.
Show your long hair,
Oh,
and then show your Ghana hair.
okay.
Okay, show your long hair.
So the long hair is short. So it's short line. But you have it's short. It's close. It's close on it and roll it like that. It's really long. It's longer and long. This is my boat pink. Pink is my favorite. But my favorite color is purple. My purple is black hair and swing it to brown. How's that?
And so I started to look at nonprofits that were working in Ghana, and I couldn't find one that I agreed with what they were doing, because such a small percentage actually gets to the kids in so many nonprofits. So I started my own nonprofit where I can rescue children. We have a little girl whose name is Asibi, a little girl with Down syndrome. Her mother was taking her to be killed by the fetish priestess. And the grandmother said, I've heard of this organization, let's see if they'll take her. And so we had Asibi told her mother, if you keep her, you will find great joy. And she said, but you don't understand. And I said, I don't understand what it's like to have a child in Ghana, but I understand because I have 2 children with Down syndrome. And she couldn't believe that I had 2 children with Down syndrome that I loved and that I cared for. And she said, but if I keep her, nobody will sell me food, nobody will talk to me, nobody will give me a job. How am I going to take care of this little girl? And we promised her that we would help her to make that possible. So Asibi attends school at the Nurturing Nation School now with all the other children that we've rescued. We have a special care house. We have lots of other children. Asibi is just the first one that we were able to rescue and bring into safety in her own family, and teaching them to change this whole cultural prejudice towards children with disabilities. And so now I have over 500 children at the Nurturing Nations campus, children not just with special needs, but we have all of the children that wouldn't be able to attend school otherwise that come to school, and then they're educated with the children with special needs. So then they see that they're friends, they're just children, they're not anything to be afraid of. And all the little children, they love these children, and they help push them in their wheelchairs, and they help to see that they're just children. They're just children of God like them, and they need to be treated with love and respect. And it's all because of Brittan, my son with Down syndrome, that came to our family, that opened the window of joy that comes from understanding what's truly important in this life. Right after he was born, they took him away, and they wouldn't let me see him. And I went an entire day, and they wouldn't let me see my baby. They kept saying, well, we're giving him a bath, or we need to check on this, we need to do that. I'm like, no, I need my baby. I need to see my baby. And I wasn't well enough because of complications to be able to get up to go to the nursery to see him. And they wouldn't even let my husband see him. They just wouldn't let us see him. And then that night, the doctor came into my room, and he was crying. And he was an older doctor, and he was crying, and he said, I think your baby has Down syndrome. My heart just enveloped this little baby, this little tiny baby. And I was so honored to be his mother. And the doctor started to tell me all these things. I was only 25. And he said, you're young, put him in a home, forget about him. And I looked at him and I said, what? This is my baby. I would never forget, about my baby. And then he started to go through all the things and say, he won't be able to do this. He won't be able to do that. He won't. And then I just started to, my mother heart was like, okay, I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to prove you wrong, because this little boy is important. And he is my son. And I'm honored to be his mother, because the minute I was first able to hold him, I felt like I was holding heaven. He was my little angel. And I was truly honored to be his mother, to have this opportunity to be his mother. And he just took over our lives in understanding what was truly important. Because up to this point, I had babies 2 years apart. Everything was, very busy. And I kept thinking, I want life to slow down. I want to be able to enjoy my babies. And then Heavenly Father gave me our sweet little Brittan, where everything was in slow motion, so that I can enjoy every milestone that he took. I was able to enjoy every little tiny thing, and to find joy in every step, every accomplishment that he made. I was able to slow down and enjoy that. And he taught me to slow down and notice the little things. And he does this all the time. He'll stop me and he'll point out a hole in the ground, or a bird in the tree, or whatever it is. He's like, let's drop rocks down this hole. Let's see what happens if we do this. He changed our whole perspective of what really is important. In kindergarten, he was pretty much at grade level. He was reading, he was doing really, really well. And his favorite game at that time was to quote movies, lines from movies. And he would say, he'd tell us a line from a movie, and then we were supposed to guess what the movie was. So he had this great memory of remembering movies, and then we'd go and hit, what did that line come from? And then our sweet Brittan was, we started to lose him. He stopped making eye contact, he stopped talking, he stopped interacting, and we were heartbroken, because our sweet Brittan was withdrawing into this cave, which we know now is autism. He had late onset autism, which was taking him from us. So difficult that our older children can't watch the videos, the home videos of him when he was young, because they miss him. And it makes them sad. Why was he taken from us? So he no longer has the ability to express himself. Very, very few words. He sometimes can get out, I love you, And I take those as a huge gift when he's able to say a few words. Even though it's very difficult, and he now also has celiac disease and all kinds of things that he's having to deal with, he still brings us so much joy.
He's my brother and my son. He always love him. He like a heart, and he love play toys, love making food, love social cards, love her parents.
Brittan and Kai have the most amazing relationship. They see each other not just as siblings. I think they deep down know that they have an important role here on this earth. And Kai sees herself as Brittan's little mother because Brittan doesn't talk. So she thinks, I've got to help Brittan fix his food. I need to help Brittan get dressed. I need to. And Brittan's very kind and very patient with his little sister, trying to help them. But they're always, when they come into a room, it's like they look around and they see, okay, who needs us?
And I love my mom.
Yeah?
And I love.
Oh, thank you. I love you.
I love him.
And I love you.
And I love you.
Oh, I love you too.
When we go somewhere, people notice, and I like it because then they can see that we find joy in having these children with special needs. And by seeing that joy, then hopefully they will be able to find joy also by having children with special needs. And every time anyone comes to me and says, oh, I'm going to have a child with Down syndrome, do you think I should have an abortion? Do you think? I had one woman that said, okay, you've had your child with Down syndrome. The doctor says my baby has Down syndrome. If you went back and you knew that Brittan had Down syndrome before he was born, would you have had an abortion? And I said, absolutely not. I said, every life has value. And I said, you keep this baby and you will find more joy than you ever thought possible. Come to find out, she not only did not have a child with Down syndrome, but it was the opposite sex of what the doctor had told her. Completely told her wrong. Completely told her wrong. And she said, thank you. Thank you for saving the life of my baby. And I will save every life of every baby. When anyone tells me they're going to have a baby with Down syndrome, I feel like celebrating. You're going to be part of this amazing group of people that get to have these amazing individuals in your life that will change your life in ways you never thought possible, and bring you so much joy that you will think, everybody needs to have a child with Down syndrome. Everybody does. Because it is that glorious to have these children in our families and in our lives.
And look at this.
Oh.
See? Love you, Brittan. I love you.
I love you.
These children are amazing. And they can do great things if we give them a chance. We just have to give them a chance and let the world know what a privilege it is to be a part of their lives.
So, 1, 2, 3, bye everyone.
Bye, everyone. Goodbye. All right. Thank you for watching this story. I'm so thankful that Kai was adopted by Laura so that we could witness her beautiful personality. It's plainly obvious that there's nothing cursed about Kai. Honestly, this world would be a way better place if we were all more like her. And though we can see that, there's still many hearts that don't. We've partnered with Rod's Heroes, who inspire families to adopt children with Down syndrome, while also providing resources designed to empower and uplift the Down syndrome community. If you're interested in getting involved, go to rods.org to learn more about waiting children. Your donations also help children with Down syndrome find their forever homes. Please click the link in the description now to donate and be a part of more amazing stories just like Kai's.